Hello everybody, how you doing? So today we're going to do a workflow tutorial. So this is covering, it's less about doing a specific thing and it's more about like by specific thing I mean a like action, like how to extrude or how to do retopology or how to do sculpting. It's more like how do you start from the beginning and then how you go to the end, right? And you do the whole thing. So this is like how you make a asset that you do your sculpture, then you do the retopology, and then you do your UVs, and then you do your texture. So just to share, let's do this one here small, and just so make sure that in here I am not drawing around there because I am. Why does it keep on doing it? Oh, it's the wrong tool. I'm like, I'm crazy, but I'm not that crazy. Okay. When it comes to workflows, right? And just making sure that my microphone is working. Yeah, it seems it's working. So with the workflow, right? You just how you make an art asset. So you go art asset. There's so many ways that you can make a workflow. So back in the old day, you had the modeling. Then the modeling, you just do UVs. And after the UVs, you just go the texture, right? But then because of normal maps and because of ZBrush, right? Now the workflow is more like when the first was introduced, like you do the modeling, and then after that you convert that into doing the ZBrushing, right? And then after that you do, okay, so you do maybe the retopology, and after that you do UVs, and then texturing, right? However, the workflow that is becoming a lot common now is you do your ZBrushing, right? After that you do your retopology, and then after that you do UVs, and then after that you do the texturing, right? But how do you explain this whole process in a video that, by the way, this is going to take an hour long for sure, because there's no way that I can do all of this in less. But that said, very recently I did like a challenge with my students where I got to sculpt a stick from scratch, and it was a lot of fun. And I've covered this a few times. So the way that we're going to do this is we're just going to sculpt a just basic brick. It can be like an Egyptian brick or can be any kind of brick, but something very basic. Like we're not going to do anything too crazy. It's going to have a little bit of detail, right? And after that, we will do a little bit of a retopology in Maya. So you will need Maya to do this as well. But also, you're gonna need as well to do the texture, and you're gonna need Substance Painter. So before you continue, make sure that you've got and also a ZBrush. So you're gonna need these three. If you don't have these three, if you've got, you could do these two very easily inside of a Blender, but it really depends on how good you are with Blender to go back and forward, right? So I was trying to think if there's anything else that I need to mention. I think this is enough to understand a little bit of that workflow, and we're just going to do a brick. So I'm going to go and open ZBrush. I've got both versions installed, but I still use the Pixelogic version because the new version of Pixelogic, I don't know what they've done, but it works way slower. There's so many bugs. There's so many wrong things with it. And I don't even understand it. Like, what's going on with the version of ZBrush is just they have destroyed it. They've killed it. It's almost like maybe everyone that used to work at Pixelogic has decided to leave as well when the company got sold, and then the new people jumped in, and then I don't know what happened. Why is ZBrush not happening? Because it is in this window. Okay, cool. So, all right, well, the ZBrush, we're gonna start very basic. There is, if you go in my YouTube channel, I do hope at the very, very least, I was gonna say all my videos now. I very hope that at least you follow this free and you complete this free. And if you complete this free, then you should be able to. This is sparkle3d.art, and if you complete this free, you should be able to follow me just fine, right? Or if you've done a little bit of ZBrush. Cool. So let's go here. We go document. Let's do. Cool. Click on here, and we just need a box, something like that. Drag that in with Shift. Super easy. This is where you always have to go edit mode. So now you can navigate in 3D like that very easily. The next thing that you need to do, whenever you drag a box in here, you have to press edit. And the next part that you have to do, which is a little bit annoying, you have to go instead of here, make polymesh 3D, and voila, right? Now you've got a box here. The next part that we're gonna do is to give it dimensions and make it look like a brick. So we're gonna go sideways like this. You know what? I hate this topology. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna, instead of changing it, we're gonna go straight with better topology. So I'm just gonna go BTR, right? Or you can just press W. That's a little bit shorter. And I'm gonna go here in the gear box. Then we're gonna go to Polycube. And Polycube is gonna give you some better geometry. So we're gonna go just to this way. And you'll see in a second why. Hate how sensitive that is. And to here as well. Right, and then we're gonna elongate it this way. So the next part, once you've got this like that, we're just gonna make it longer in one direction. So if you go size, and whenever you can, go through these. Like one day, maybe I'll do a video where I go through every single thing and explain every single thing in here. It is really, really good. It's really powerful as well. But yeah, I'm just gonna go into those faces here. They look like squares, so I'll just go to 1. There you go. And that's your brick, right? The next part is you can subdivide it and start sculpting. The thing is, if you start sculpting this now, if you go sub D, it's gonna look like a Play-Doh brick. So instead, what we're gonna do, and this, I'll just undo that. We're gonna go inside of geometry in here. And here where it says divide, we're gonna take out this smooth button there for a second, and we're gonna press the divide button there, the divide button 3 times. So now we have got this many polygons, and now this is if you press this button here and then you subdivide it, it's gonna make it smooth in the borders, but it's not gonna look like Play-Doh, right? So this is a nice way. I might do one more and then subdivide it, and now that's gonna look like a nice brick. Be careful when we do this topology thing here. You want to make sure that a 40K is not going to be detailed enough, but then that's pretty detailed. And now there, stop. That's 500,000. We don't need 500,000 for a brick. I'll show you that. But still, just in case. Yeah, we'll just do one less, and that's heaps. All right, now let's have some fun. Now when it comes to brick, reference is king. You always need reference. It doesn't matter how much you know what things are meant to look like. Always I recommend pure ref, so you can always have it in the screen, or something is going to come out from something else. That's just a art project that I was doing. Let's do new scene. I'm like, oh my god, I hope this is not like some weird anatomy stuff or weird character that I'm doing. And then I'm like, okay, this is now. I'll need to edit this, but I don't. Anyway, so let's go brick. Egyptian brick. Why not? Let's say we got some nice Egyptian brick, and I'm looking for maybe something like that. Something that's got character, but not too busy or too full on. That's cool. Sure. Maybe. Yeah, I like that image there. Something with character, but it still looks pretty busted. Sure, why not? I like how they've blocked the guy there, so this is going to be a big F off. Can the brick there? Something like that. Yeah, sure, why not? Okay. So, one thing I do recommend... Oh, Jesus Christ, that's a big image. One thing... that's a big brick, man. Holy mackerel. One thing that I do recommend with this, when we sculpt this, don't go too crazy. Don't go too bashy, because you need to do retopology, and if you do it too complex, then you're going to be doing this for a while, right? And now we're already in minute 11. Jesus Christ. All right, so I'm just going to go the clay tubes, and I'm just going to like just smash around the borders there, like that. Nothing too crazy. Okay. Try to maintain still that squarish kind of thing. There is a brush. I don't know if I've got it in here activated right now. That's really good for this kind of stuff. But you can also use Trim Dynamic, BTD, to do a little bit of that. But if you want something that's a little bit sharper, the planner is also pretty good if you want to use the planner there. To get something that's a little bit sharper. And yeah, we're just gonna go around the borders there a little bit. I think I liked this one a bit better, just to give it a bit of history, right? Yeah, don't do something like that. Go, oh yeah, because then you have to do retopology of that. You're gonna be here for decades, right? It's okay to do something small like that, and then we can just do like a basic cube around it. Because the way we're gonna do retopology of this is I'm gonna show you like if you had something really complicated, how you would do the retopology. But then after that, it's like, yeah, but don't do this. Let's just do something basic and call it a day, right? And with the same with this, it's just gonna go around, just give it a little bit of detail. And you see how sometimes like the process, I'm like, just do all the borders for now. And that's enough. And the other thing that's kind of cool is like, I could also export this as the low poly and call it a day of this one, right? But I want to show you like, okay, if you did not have that for whatever reason, then, you know, how would you do it? Now this part here is okay because that's going to be on normal maps. It's gonna go, it's a little bit around there. It looks semi-uniform, but not. I kind of wish that I could do a bit more stuff with this. Like I wish I could just be in here for another 2 hours and spend a lot of time. But the point of this video is not to make the best looking brick. The point of the video is to show you the whole process from the beginning to the end. And so it's just to get an idea if you want to make any art, like to show you the most basic way. So then you go, so you can get the so if I want to do anything, I can do it this way, right? So we missed that guy there. A bit of that. Cool. And yeah, just to show off a little bit with my website just for 1 second. I love doing this kind of stuff. So if I go here in the block, I'll be very quick, promise. So where am I? So yeah, I was doing this kind of rocks, this kind of stuff, and I think I've spent a few hours doing this, and yeah, I love doing this kind of stuff. Like maybe one day I could do a rock video, right, on how to do rocks. But today is not the day. Today, let's just focus with getting this done. And yeah, something like that. That's pretty cool. Another trick that if you want to add some quick detail with this, so let's do it really quickly, is change the shader because that red is making me ill. You can go to noise. You know what? No, it's gonna be. No, let's leave it. All right, cool. We got the brick here. All right, and this is a cool brick. We love it. It's got character, and the topology is gonna be nice and easy, straightforward. I might do some dance standards to just small ones like that. So that's a BDS, and it's not kinky. Okay, BDS, just to give it a bit more something to look at, like that. Yeah, sure, why not? And yeah, make sure whenever you do cracks like this, make sure that it follows some of those details, so to make it look more believable. So it's like, oh yeah, no, you got that thing there, and it goes like that, and then that connects to this part there. Okay, cool. I think that it's enough, because I'm not gonna care about this. Now, we got this guy here. We got a brick. This is where you need to export it, so we can put it back inside of Maya, right? So you go plugin, and then plugin, you have to go. There's an export in here somewhere as well, but I always end up using this one because I've had way less problems. Select it, export. This is where I'm gonna put everything. This is a work project, so I'm just gonna put this. There's a banana folder. Sure, let's put in the banana folder. So we got here banana folder. We got a high. Let's call this. So whenever it comes to export, import, moving files across different applications, there's a lot of friction, and so good naming conventions, so you know what is essential. So I'm just gonna call this brick underscore high, and that's a very common practice. Anything that's like a high poly from a sculpture or something like that, you always have a post prefix, no, not prefix, a postfix called high. And then if you got a retopology, you should just call low. And then once you've done the texturing and everything, then you have a prefix called SM, right? For static mesh, or SK for skeletal mesh. So we go in here, in the banana folder. That's gonna make things confusing. Save. We go now to Maya he, Maya ho, Maya ha. And we go new scene. And let's import that brick. Always scale is very important. So as you see, this guy here, this is a huge brick, but I'm just gonna make it like, you know, maybe yay big. Making sure that I'm still recording. So let's go click on this guy here. Hello. Where are you? Why aren't you opening? Sometimes when I change, well, there it is, magically. So if I open this guy here, double click him, so that's how yay big it is. Cool story, brah. So we go file, import, yeah. And one thing that's very important when it comes to this, right? It's gonna look really tiny. It's gonna look like a little ant, right? You don't want that. You want to make sure that this is like big, right? Thing is, if you decide to do retopology and stuff like that, and after that you decide, oh, actually, you know, I want to change the brick and anything, then you'll have to rescale and stuff like that. So there are processes to make sure that you don't do that again. So when you put it inside of ZBrush, then it goes everything in the same, like in the proper scale, but we're not going to worry about that. So let's say that, yeah, that's the proper scale of that brick. Got that lots of detail. Sometimes I like to apply a texture. So if I go assign your material, you kidding me? Okay. Sometimes I like to put like a highly like refracted color with a bit of a bling so I can see very clearly the details. And look at that, that's now with all the sculpting detail that we put in there. Yeah, select the sky. Now I'm gonna show you the retopology. I'm gonna show you the retopology the hard way. So you select the sky, the high poly. Then after that, you have to go up here where it says you got this magnet here. It makes selected objects live. I got no clue what is new about this. That has to be highlighted green. Now I'm confused. You select that and you click it, and now this is live. Right? You cannot select it, but you can put geometry on top of it, right? So what you do next is you go in here where it says you get this little box with a hammer, and then you click on quad draw, right? What this is going to enable you to do is to create, it's going to create a geometry on the go. So if I go click a dot with left click, click again, click again, click again, now you can make a quad with holding down shift. If you're not sure about the shortcuts, you can open this tab and down here, and it will give you some shortcuts, right? I don't want to do a full-on retopology class, but you go shift, you do that, and then 2 dots again, click, click with left click, shift, you do retopology, right? And we could be here doing this 25 years, right? Or you could just go, you know, just go click here, click there, and then you do one face there, and then you go pull another one here, and then you go, oh, okay, cool, what about there or whatever, and then you might be doing this for a long time. But the lazy way, it's a box. It's just a box, mate. It's just a box. So what you can do is just go front view like that. Let's take this guy for a second. Let's go cube. Make the cube as big as it needs to be. Make this X-ray so I can see through it. Go, all right, cool. So I'm just gonna make that just like close enough so it's like touching it. And then I'm just gonna expand it this way. So kind of like get it as tight as possible, but not too tight. It's okay if there is a little bit floaty. Cool. And I'm just gonna go in the other way, and you see it now. That's not gonna be good. Make sure that, and this is like this is now we're doing the low poly of this cube. So now if we go perspective mode, that's encapsulated as much as possible. And if you want to be extra short, we can go now out of X-ray mode, go like that until it just like kisses it, right? And then go here again until it kisses it, right? Do the same with this one. Go here, go, all right, how close that is. Yep, that's pretty close. Go here, yep, that's pretty close as well, right? And now this one, right? Now, when it comes to this fella here, is because we've done the destruction around the borders of the brick, right? If you move this aside, right? So you got a lot of details there. Oh, I don't know what I did there, but that's no bueno. It doesn't matter. You might not show in the back anyways. So you got some areas there with destruction and stuff like that. So I just recommend that you do a basic bevel so it captures the details around there, but not too much. So you see, like maybe like yay. That's good enough. And you'd be surprised, like it will still like maybe one segment. And you'd be surprised it's still gonna capture a lot of those details with the bake. And this is where you can still like select this fella here, make it into a magnet, go this one here, click draw quad, and you still have that geometry there. And if you want to add that extra geometry there just to like break up the silhouette a little bit, right? That's okay, just to give it a little bit. I did that a bit fast, by the way. So what I did is I hold down middle mouse with control. So you see this thing here. So this is where you can go meow, 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 like that. Or you can just go hold down control and then middle mouse, middle mouse, middle mouse. And then I'm going to do it a couple more times there and there. And this has got a lot of geometry for a brick. But you'll be surprised that doing this, guys, there, it kind of breaks the silhouette a little bit, you know. You can click on this a little bit and move this around just to make sure that that's like snapping to the geometry there. But I am confident that's going to bake just fine and it's going to be alright. So, you know, or you can press B once and then smooth. My God, it's not gonna, you know what? It's okay. It's done. The cool thing about this is because we used a box earlier, it's already going to have UVs. But the most important thing about a bake is that it needs good UVs. If you don't have decent UVs in this process, it's going to tank really hard. So we are here, done. Retopology, done. And now we're going to do the UVs and the texturing next. Yeah. So I'm gonna go panels, save layouts. Let's go perspective UV layout here. With this, we can just grab this and unfold it. Done. Because it was a cube, right? And that's it. With this, and maybe that's another good reason why just do it. Just do it with the box, and then you don't have to do UVs anymore because it's all automatically done. And then unfold it, and that's it. Now let's move this around a little bit, rotate it. Trying to think if there's a way to pack this a little bit better, but I cannot think there is. I think that's fine for this exercise. Cool, we got the UVs done. All right, cool. So, and just to make sure, if you press this button there, check the UVs. Why using those UVs? Anyways, I cannot see the change the settings that I kept on begging to. It's not important. All right, cool. So we got UVs now. The thing with exporting, importing this kind of stuff into Painter, this is very important, is if you export this brick, like, let's say that the high is here and the low poly is here, and you go, oh, okay, I'm going to do the bake. It's not going to work because they need to be in the same place, in the same area. And so I'm just going to give a mini tutorial on how baking works. It's a little bit like a scan. It is scanning per the face on where things are, right? So let's take a screenshot of this with this wireframe, right? So the way that it works is, put that there so it kind of makes sense. Whenever baking works, let's color anything that's got lots of details or bumps or whatever. So let's color that orange, right? So let's say that this is the high poly. So you got lots of detail there with the normal maps, and it's like going really crazy, right? And then you got the topology that's like the low poly. So let's make the low poly like very similar to the color of the quadro, something blue. So let's say that you have this as a topology, right? It goes on top. And you got all these bumps, and you got this, like, you got this one face, make it a bit dimensional, that's sitting on top of there, right? With baking, you will have this, like, it's using a scanning place to say, okay, anything that's encapsulated within this space, right? And it goes both ways. It goes out, but also inwards, right? it is going to scan that area, and then it's going to put that as a normal map eventually. Let's make that purple. It's a normal map. Eventually we say, oh, cool. So we are scanning this area, and then we are going to paint the normal maps to fake with fake normal maps on top of that face. And then it's going to do the normal map, right? And so that's the work. So, you know, you got things that go in, things that go out, but then you're going to say like an area of pocket to say, okay, in this area, then do the bake. But if they are not sitting in the same place, the baking is not going to work at all, right? So, yeah, let's export the low poly and the high poly. Make sure that don't use the one that we got from ZBrush. You need to re-export it out of here again. So let's go in here, select the high one, go file, export selection. We're going to use the same banana address. I don't know why. I don't know what's that banana. I'm just going to export that on top. It's going to ask me, you want to replace it? Sure. I'm going to use now the low poly with this. Very important. You need to set an existing material on this, new material, and call this material brick or something like that. Because otherwise, when it exports out with the textures, it's not going to have the right thing. Oh, not change it. So, sorry, I'm going to also delete the history and freeze the transforms. And go again, new material. I'm just gonna use this one and call that, change it. Oh, this one I can change. Okay, I'm confused now. So go matte underscore brick. Okay. This is a very common workflow convention to, make sure that you name the materials. No one wants to have Blink 1, Blink 2, Blink 3, Blink 4, Blink 5 in a project. People are going to be like, what the hell is which thing, right? So we go File, Export Selection, and now let's call this Brick Low. Baby. Okay, now that we got those two pieces, this is where now we open Substance Painter. Easy. Substance Painter is super duper. I wouldn't mind having some video tutorials on just texturing. And I think I'm pretty decent with texturing. I love texturing. But I could just teach texturing for decades, and that's the only thing I teach, and it's never ending. There's so many tips and techniques about texturing, so maybe one day I'll get into it, who knows. So go File, New, and Unreal Engine 4, sure, that's fine. We don't need 2K for a brick, like 1K is enough for the exercise. Now, UV tile workflow, turn that off. It turns on by default. Why, Adobe? Why? Children are learning how to do this software. Import cameras, no. Auto unwrap. Why, Adobe? Why? UV is off. We just made them. You don't need auto unwrap. Take them off. Everything else is fine. This is still where you need to select your file. So we go in here. Oh, that's the cane high, cane low. That's that was so good. That was such a good thing that we did. So let's go documents, banana, and we go brick low. Okay. Before I continue, there is one thing I forgot to do. So let's go back to Mayahi, Mayaho, Mayaha for a second, and we need to re-export this. When it comes to, you see how you got your harden things. Everything needs to be softened, but the bottom of the UV is very important. So we're gonna select this, go shift right click, soften edges to soften everything. You need that to get the best normals. But then we're gonna harden the borders of the UVs. So in order to do that, you go edge mode in the UVs, you double click it. So now you can see how here it's being highlighted orange, only the border of the UVs. And then you harden that. And that, my friend, is gonna give you the best bake. It's kind of hard to explain, but what happens is it's at the border there. You want that to be hardened to make sure that that's like perfect. So it's because the pixel orientation between this face here and this face is going to be different. And so but that's softened, then it has to try to overcompensate to say, okay, so that's softened, so let's try to put this with pixels, and then it's gonna look weird. I don't know how to explain any better than that. If you do, maybe let me know. So let's re-export this one as a poly. Yeah, and now let's use that for the texturing. Look at that. I'm such a ninja. How are we doing with time? 35 minutes. I did promise to have this done in 1 hour, so actually that's not the worst. It's still a pretty long tutorial, I guess. People these days, man, they've got no patience to do anything. So now we got a brick. Yeah, nothing exciting. It's just a block, right? But we want the brick to look like this, even though this one has got 163,000 polygons. This guy here, if we go in here, this has got 256 triangles, so this is pretty cool. So if we go in here now, let's do a bucket. So your UI is going to be all different to mine, isn't it? So just so you don't get confused. I don't want to reset it. Yeah, reset UI. It's going to look like this. So you have to go instead of texture settings in here. And then you have to go all the way in the bottom here. You'll have a bake mesh maps, right? So this is the most important thing you need to do first. You need this in order to be able to create generators and create things to do it for you. So press on this one there. And now this is the baking stuff. In order for you to use... What? Why is this here? Get the F out of here. Is that new? Why is that there? Anyways, in here, the most important step, the first step, is to make sure that you put the high poly parameters, and you click on this thing here, and you put the high brick. So you see now it is loading. Remember the scanning that I was talking about? I was saying, okay, if things go out or things go inwards, that's the red stuff there. So that stuff is not going to get scanned. So we need to adjust this, right? We'll do that in a second, because in the anti-aliasing option here, you want to go super duper, yeah. So maybe 64. Everything else should be okay. What is that? That's new. Ignore back faces from the high poly mesh. I'm gonna look into that, but not right now, but maybe later. That's so interesting. I've never seen this before. This is new. Okay, cool. Ignore backface. Okay, cool. Awesome. Something new to learn. There's always something new to learn. We don't need 2K. That's a bit too crazy. In here, that's all the default. Okay, cool. Let's press. I actually want this to be broken on purpose, and I'm gonna break it even more. Right, so we can have some obvious artifacts, right? And this is what's going to be called with an artifact. And I'm gonna go bake selected textures, right? So you will see now it's doing a little bake, it's going through everything, right? And if I go return to painting mode, right? You're gonna see here, for example, you see how there's some areas that's going a bit busted, a bit broken. So we still have some nice UV, some nice textures in some areas. I'm using shift right click to go around and circle. You see some areas, it's looking kind of nice still. But then you have some areas that's broken. It's tried to like do something, but it hasn't done a proper scan. So this is where we have to go, oh no, this is now like yay, right? But you need to push it up to here with that scanning area with the bake. So this is where I have to go back into bake and go, no, this is not good. I don't like this, yeah. So just go in here and now go Okay. Yes, that's good. And this is where now you need to go around a little bit and be like, okay, is there any more red parts around? And it doesn't seem like it, but it's important to have a good look. It seems fine. And now let's go press bake. Fun fact, back in the day, man, it would be a nightmare. It would take so long to I'm just trying to say, so you can click on that button there. So you can go normal, neutral material. So there you go. Right. And it's interesting that, yeah, if we go to normal, the normals will look like that. It's like, oh man, that looks really sharp and it looks broken and busted. But then if you go now to material, it looks okay-ish. There's a bit of a seam over there. But otherwise, if you jump out far enough, not too bad. It could be a topology issue. Okay, yeah, that's looking very nice. And now let's go to return to painting mode. Now this last step on how to do the texturing with this, I don't want to spend too much time, but now you've got an asset that has got the detail of thousands of polygons, 163,000, but the brick itself, it's like only a quarter of 1,000 triangles, like it's 256, and it could even be simpler than that. It's just a brick, right? But yeah, that's looking really nice. It was really quick. We put this together in 40 minutes of me just explaining something really quickly. Okay. The next part is, yeah, you can just use one of these guys in here, like it's one of these smart materials. The reason why I'm going to use this, now, this is really, really bad in computer graphics society. This is called a drag dropper. And a drag dropper is someone that does texturing really bad by just grabbing one of these guys and calling it a day. You drag it in there and go, okay, that's enough. That's cool. And it's like, oh, don't be that person, but I'm going to show you to be that person. So sorry to be a hypocritical person. But the trick is, if you ever do a material draggy dropper, like if you just grab this and drag it in there, is for you to jump in here and check to see what are those each things doing. But you see how it just did that for you. So it's just grabbing the curvature in there, it's putting the curvature in there, and it's picking the areas where there's ambient occlusion as well. Like if you go in here, it's gonna show you all those different things. Like you got your ambient occlusion there, for example. It's also gonna grab your curvature. It's gonna grab a lot of these details, and then it's gonna use that in order to generate a lot of these things into the masks, into all of these things, and then it's gonna put it together eventually as a material, right? So if I delete this now as well and grab pretty sure there was a rock in here or texture or something like that, stone. Well, there's a jade for some reason. You see, it's gonna do some texturing for you automatically on the get-go, and there are ways that you can learn on how to generate some of these masks and create some of these textures, but this is not what this video tutorial is about. It's about showing you the very basics of the workflow back to front. Yeah. And this is where I'm gonna wrap it up and just finish it. Now, if you guys got like, I wouldn't mind doing some more stuff, but I'm a little bit lost at the moment what to do next. I could do some more ZBrushing stuff, but I really wanted to show this whole workflow in a basic way, and maybe we could do a little bit something more complex next with a sword or a shield or something like that, but it's got pieces. That reminds me, I did do the whole workflow in a very similar way with a chest that I did a few months ago. Oh my god, I don't have it here. I swear I put it in here somewhere. There you go, this chest, you see? So this is now with a with an asset that's a little bit more complex. So this fella here is 2.5 million polygons, right? But this fella here now, this is with Retopology of just having 2,500 triangles, right? Which you can see the wireframe there. It's way basic here. But then now this is the bake. So this is the wireframe of the bake. And it's essentially like, yeah, it's just looking a lot. Like it's got the same amount of detail pretty much. But it's a lot lower poly. So we could do something that's a simpler version of this, but with a shield. If I get 4 or 5 comments saying, yeah, let's do it. I want to do a shield that, you know, it kind of uses this workflow with steps. We could do it, but I'm gonna need 4 or 5 videos to do that, and then we can just do it together, and that could be kind of cool. Okay, cool. Let me know if you guys are interested. I'll see you guys around, and remember to oh, that's not playing. Why is that not playing? Play video now. There you go. Remember to subscribe, and remember to like and share the video around. I'm very happy. Like, I've got 222 subscribers, so it is very gradually going up. But a lot of these videos, like, I'll upload a video and then I get like 5 views. I'm like, why am I doing this again? I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know. I'm confused how the algorithm of YouTube works, but it is the way the cookie crumbles. But anyways, I'll see you guys around, and bye-bye.